my first video, it was really weird that I had to listen to my voice because I didn't have chance to listen how I speak. But this chance gave me, the videos gave me the chance to find out what kinds of weakness and strong point I have in speaking. So I analyzed the first video, the picture description one first, and I wrote down every mistake and every weird pronunciation that I made. And I also analyzed that in same way with second video, the artist interview, and the third one, the movie review. And then I found out I normally make a mistake. TH sounds like the, and F and P sounds, and dropping articles. And I was not good at make linking sounds. And yeah, there were tons of mistakes, but only three of them I made an improvement, and I made that in a chart.
Nice.
So here are just three videos that I looked and analyzed: the picture description and artist interview and movie review. And those are three three weaknesses that I improved: article drop-in articles and the sounds and full sounds. Well, you can briefly see that how I reduced my mistakes with this chart. But first, let's take a look about the article one. Well, well, actually, dropping articles are still killing me because it is really small one, but it's really hard to catch if you don't pay attention on it. So even though I know I have to, but I still make some mistakes, but I'm trying to recover it. So to practice and to improve, not to drop the articles. First, I focused when I write down something first, and I write down the sentence with the correct articles. Then I repeatedly read them until I get used to speak out without seeing the description. And also I considered when I actually speak out. For example, when I buy coffee, I used to say latte please or plastic bag please. But instead of that, these days I'm trying to say like a cup of coffee or a plastic bag please. So through the practice, I think I made not bad improvements. But ironically, the second video I made more mistakes than the first one. But at last, I really found out few mistakes than before. And I will play a short video that I focused on speaking with article. It was the last one. My excitement didn't last long. One day, a private detective met Scooter, hired by a drug dealer who lost his wife from the suspect. While he was following the trace of the crime, he found I focused on speak out articles like a private detective and hired by a drug dealer, like the suspect, the trace of the crime. Okay. And the second one was the, the sounds. But I had two kinds of problem when I say this sound. The first one was if the this sound was in the beginning of the vocabulary, I pronounced it like s, not the. And if the sound is in the middle or in the last of the vocabulary, like fourth or fourth, then I didn't make didn't make the full fifth sounds. I just pressed like fourth. So I tried to fix it. It was really hard, but I practiced. I tried to make it could be sound weird, but I put extra stress when I speak out the to get used to make a the sound. And I will show my improvements through the video. This was the first video that I didn't make full the sounds.
At the top first of the image, there is a ceiling, and about middle part of the image, there is a big window covering full side instead of concrete wall. Through the window,
Here I said through, then through. But after practicing, in my second video, the artist interview,
he says, drawing technique is really important to express what are in their mind through drawing quickly in front of clients.
it still sounds a little bit weird, but I try to make a good sound when I speak out, so drawing quickly. And also at the last video,
May close my eyes and brought my sympathy.
sympathy.
I guess she was in this movie less than 5 minutes, but I think she was the most successful character in this movie. She did really well on her character. Second, I loved the scene when our two psychopaths fought.
Two psychopaths. I try to focus on it. And the last one that I improved was at foot sounds. And there were two kinds of problem for foot sounds as well. Like if foot sounds is in the beginning of the vocabulary, like fine or friends, I put too much stress, so sometimes it sounds like poop, friends or fine. Or if the foot sound is in the middle of the vocabulary, for example, specific or qualifications, I used to drop the foot sounds. I just press the sounds really quickly, specific or qualification. So I realized that, and to improve the foot sounds, I practiced with pre sounds together. Like I speak out like fine project, fly with plane. I made those two different vocabularies start with F and P, and I speak out repeatedly. And in my first video,
Side of the floor, triangle-shaped bench, floating bench,
floating bench. I think this was
floating floating bands.
I focused too much when I was like floating bands, so I think I made unnecessary too long foot sounds on it. But after practicing, in my second video,
He started to think what factors should be considered for a sword making master. Then he searched some keywords and images about artisans for his inspiration source. From that sources, he got some ideas such as sword-shaped ceiling and combination of concrete and wood for wall and floor material.
for wall and floor material. And in the last sentence, in last video,
I knew that it was just a movie, but I really felt in her emotion. The fear and the panic and the frustration.
there were 3 flip sounds, but I tried to concentrate to make a flip continuously, and I think I made it. So those 3 mistakes that I used to make in speaking was pretty improved, but I still have to improve the R and L sound, like traveled. Traveled was the first mistake that John mentioned when I presented my first video. But still, it is hard to pronounce if there is R and L together in a vocabulary. And also, I'm not good at making linking sounds. For example, about a year, I tend to separate those vocabulary, even though I can say about a year, but I used to say about a year separately. I think it's better to make a link sound to start to make a pronounce like a native speaker.
Great.